Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So this one's been a long time coming and I haven't done an update video for this in a while. You guys have noticed that I've been playing an absolute shit ton of Delve and I've been just printing pure currency. I think I'm at about 400 and... where am I at Delve right now? Let's just go have a look. I'm on the cusp of 500 plus Delve, about 476 Delve and still going strong. Anyway. You might be wondering, why have I done this? How am I making currency from this? You know, what's the reason for this? Well, this video is going to talk about that, as well as give you a really sort of quick summary of how Delve works, what to do in Delve, and the reasons why. Anyway, I'll break this into parts anyway, as far as within the video to make this digestible, and also in the description below will be a bit of a breakdown and summary of what I talk through here anyway. So let's delve straight in to the first point of why I delve. So when 3.16 came into play, it made some changes fundamentally to the level of sort of depth diving that you could do in Delve and the difficulty of those levels. So basically the problem was, the current state of Delve was, you know, you'd have to spend a huge amount of time playing through relatively easy content. This was true. It didn't progress very quickly, so you could go down to like crazy depths, but it wouldn't scale as well. So now Delve has been made more difficult with an increase to the amount of rewards at a much earlier point in time. So getting to Delve 200, if we have a look at the comparative here, really important to note out. So the Delve encounter now scales much faster. The difficulty, or I should say quicker, the difficulty of encounters at depth 500 is now roughly equivalent to the difficulty at 1000. So basically it's a factor of 2. So if you get to 200, that's 400, so on, so on. So you guys have been seeing me delve down to just about 500. In actuality, I'm playing what would have previously been about 1000 delve. Now, the reason for this is because previously you would just have to grind, and getting Azurite to sustain Delve used to be a bit of a shit show. And I'll talk about how to get Azurite. Anyway, this is the main reason why I play it. There's other advantages here. So there's a lot more city biomes, and we'll talk about biomes very shortly. And that's referred to the different segments in Delve and the colors and patching. And we'll talk about that. Similar to mapping, but not entirely the same. There's new modifiers. One big thing that I've noticed is there's almost guaranteed fossil drops for higher tier fossils like faceted fossils and fractured fossils, if you know where to look. And also, it appears that there's been an improvement to the way that sort of the Chew of Azurite sort of kicks in as you go down. So it's much more sustainable and you don't have to go back and constantly be farming maps to get enough Azurite to keep going. There are some changes to fossils that came through in this league, but we'll talk about the market in the next segment. Anyway, that's the main reason why Delve's really good. It's been made significantly more achievable. It's actually a really good mechanic if you're like me and not a master crafter and you know you want to play multiple builds. If you crank a Delve character, and I can do another video on curated Delve characters or Delve builds in particular, you guys would have seen in my live stream if you haven't watched it in the past, that I'm playing a Malt-Struck Jug. Now, is it cheap? No, but Delve self-funds that build and then funds the rest of my builds because you just make so much currency. Anyway, let's get into the next section and let's talk about the market. Okay, so the market. Let's have a talk about the actual value of fossils. Now, based on the level of ease to Delve to profit level, so what I've found is about this time in the league, we're about a month into the league, maybe a little bit further down the track, the price of fossils goes up, and the reason being is that there's a lot more people keen to craft their ultimate gear or move on to second characters, and there's a lot of flow of currency in the market. In the first few weeks, it's a bit slow, but then it picks up. So pretty much at the moment, like, if you get faceted fossils, and by the way, these drop almost guaranteed in magma chambers now, so as long as you target Delve magma chamber nodes, and I'll show you what a magma chamber looks like, you get a faceted fossil. Really achievable. Same with fractured fossils, glyphics, hollow fossils, sanctifieds, gilded fossils. For some reason, we're trading really high and they've dropped in value. bound fossils trained in abundance. Now, the way that it works, the further you go down in Delve, you'll start at a lower tier, getting 1 or 2 fossils dropping, per, fossil node, right? Or behind fractured walls or whatever. Then the more you progress, you get like drops of up to 6, 7, 8 fossils. And if you get like 8 bound fossils, 8 times 4, you've just made a shitload of currency. So, you've made what, 32 chaos from one node. And if you guys have watched a stream, you would have seen exactly that, where I was just flipping currency like a madman. Now, are you going to sell for pure exalts? No, you're not gonna clear one exalt. Well, you may actually if you sell enough fossils. We're looking at high volume sales at lower stack prices, but generally when people buy fossils, they buy a large quantity of fossils, and we sell in bulk. And when you sell in bulk, you can generally make a lot more currency. This is exactly what I do on the market, but I actually undercut to offload the fossils really quickly, and then pad out my currency so then I can move on and buy the gear that I need to keep progressing lower. Now, the other thing that drops in Delve are resonators. In particular, since the changes, prime chaotic resonators, which are 4 sockets, have, and this is simplified, there used to be a resonator called an alchemaic resonator, which was a silver resonator, but as you can see here, prime chaotics are about 39 going on 40 chaos. You probably sell them really quickly for 37, 38 chaos. And these drop after like level 100 in Delve. It's absolutely nuts, and these drop a lot. Now, these have a guaranteed drop if you find a resonator trove, and I guarantee you will find ample resonator troves the further you go down. They're like every other bloody section. It makes it really affordable, and also really easy way to generate currency if you're not so good at generating currency. Pretty much if you're bad at generating currency in any other way, whether it be Cyrus farming, map farming, Legion farming, or whatever, Delve could be your savior in making currency and funding those crazy builds that you want to play League on League. But that's basically the market and how it's currently working with fossils and resonators. Alright, so let's talk about biomes. Now, it's really important to understand the different types of areas within Delve, because that might be where you travel through to target your specific item that you're looking for, i.e. the types of fossils that you're after. So for example, fungal caverns, you'll get perfect fossils. These sell for a lot more on the market. Same with gilded fossils. Aberrants, not so much, but aberrants sell for 1 chaos. They drop in high volume and you can sell a lot. Petrified forests, you can go for example, bound fossils, which always sell for about 3 to 4 chaos each, depending on the day. And sanctifieds, which will sell as well, because it helps you craft higher tier rolls onto your gear, which is what master crafters want to use. Same applies with all of these different biomes, but what does a biome actually look like in game? Okay, well, let's have a look. So if we go to our chart, you'll see this color patching all over the Delve map here, or the Delve, whatever you want to call it. These are the biomes. So when you roll over the biome, and I wish I could sort of point, sort of can, you'll see this little box come up in the left in the left bottom corner that says magma fissure. That's the type of biome. So based on the color, based on the name of that biome, that will dictate the type of fossils that will basically be available in that particular area. Now also in these biomes, they've got modifiers. Similar to maps, you can see their magma fissure has 33% increased movement speed and whatnot. This will affect the difficulty level of the particular biome that you're traveling through. Now, if there's certain modifiers that your character is not equipped to deal with, then what I would suggest is paying very close attention. Now, normally I stick to petrified forest. I like fungal caverns. I like sulfur vents, are really good biomes. You can get good drops in Frozen Hollow, but I stay away from Frozen Hollow, and I really try and avoid magma fissure because they're not that great. There are caveats to this. I guess we'll talk about this in the next part of the video, which will be the particular delve nodes in specific to look for when you are delving. Now, there's a lot of different nodes down here, but we'll talk about these in the next part of the video. Okay, so some of the things to look for when you're traveling down, in particular, that will give you better drops and/or you'll get to fight the bosses. So number one, watch out for these nodes here that have the fossils on them themselves. Now, if they go by the name of Time Lost Cavern, Humid Fissure, Abyssal Depths, magma chamber in particular, they have a guaranteed drop of giving you a really, really good fossil, like a faceted fossil or a hollow fossil, for example, at Abyssal, in Abyssal Depths. And that indicates the type of boss that you'll fight in that particular area. So keep an eye out for these, and yeah, they will give you some pretty awesome shit, quite frankly. Also be aware that if you tackle the harder nodes in the game, they have harder bosses. The further down you go, there's a very high likelihood that you will get your ass handed to you. That's just a fact of playing Delve. Delve is one of the harder pieces of content in the game on a consistent basis, so just make sure that you're following a really good guide or you have a really good character at your disposal to be able to handle the bosses. Now, a lot of people look for the Crystal King, and I'll show you the nodes in particular if we have a look here, and hopefully I can find it. We've passed through 2 other particular nodes that I haven't done for different bosses, and I might go back and do those when I get a bit more, when I put some Azurite in the kitty. Where are you all? Where are you? This is really bad when you're recording a video and you're trying to find the specific... Here we go. So, with this wolf-looking node here, you'll notice this is the Crystal King. In particular, this will drop things like All's Uprising, which is an amulet that gives you a free reservation for an aura, and really any major base aura. Those particular necklaces may go anywhere up to 20 Exalt. They can be incredibly profitable to farm. So if you've got a character, and currently unfortunately mine can't kill all, but you know, if you can face tank him and beat him down, then definitely worth doing. As you can see, I burn all my XP trying to do this node here, but it's at 350 delve, which is about 700, and it's fucking hard. I would suggest going up at a higher level and farming higher level bosses to be able to do that. Now, the other thing that you would have seen as you roll down here would be that I also have Lich nodes that I haven't completed. So this is the Lich King's Tomb. Again, drops really good items, worth farming, worth going in for. Now, you'll notice this isn't connected to anything. That's because there'll be a fractured wall here, and you'll have to explore the darkness to find that fractured wall. Risky at lower levels, less risky at higher levels when you have a lot more darkness resistance. And then the other thing to look forward for will be the, I believe it's the Omnitex. We'll just find it up here. Here we go, the Grand Architect's Temple. So again, another really cool boss fight. Can drop potentially some really good items that are unique to Delve in particular. As you have noticed here, I haven't done it yet, and I might actually put it at the very end of the video to show what it actually looks like. But again, just another thing to look out for. Now, other things here, there's a lot of talk about cities. Do these city nodes. They are literally just currency printers. The further down you go, the higher the stacks will drop, and literally it's just like pure chaos drops, potentially Exalt drops, every other form of currency. It's a clustered sort of currency thing. You get like 10 chests that you can open up in each. I'm actually going to do a video of me tackling cities and loot explosions in cities, but really good way to make currency in Delve. There's 3 different kinds, or 2 different kinds from memory. So you've got the abyssal chambers and abyssal cities. There's also primeval chambers, and there's like the golden king's chambers, or whatever the hell they're called. The ruin chambers as well. So farm the cities, really good for currency. In just general, you will have tons and tons of alchemy orbs, fusings, everything. If you do that, simply that alone will get you pretty far. Anyway, okay, let's talk about getting Azurite in the next section. Okay, so getting Azurite to be able to sustain Delve, that's one of the biggest problems with Delve, is you have to sustain your Azurite. Now, the first thing that you should be aware of is when you're doing your Delve, you should focus on Sulphite, not Azurite. You should focus on getting your Sulphite capacity up to about 30,000 by about, say, 350 Delve. That way you can do like 2 winged scarabs, and basically that's it. That'll almost fully fill you up, and then you're good to go. Now, the other things that you should max out first in this schedule of or this Azurite window as well should be 75% darkness. Always have it at 75, and 150% at whatever depth you're at. Now the other thing, radius on your flares, max that out and try and add as many flares as you can. Have a few sticks of dynamite, knowing that dynamite, you're less likely to use 7 sticks of dynamite than you are 15 flares. Flares are your lifeline if you have a character that can't sustain the darkness for long, or if you can't afford to get your darkness resistance up. That's pretty much the mechanic here. Now, how do you get enough Sulphite to be able to sustain Delve? It's a really interesting question and very easily answered. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have your Valdo's Rest nodes as you progress the Atlas, which you'll have to do realistically before you push Delve too far. Make sure you pick up Packed with Energy, Guarded Hordes, and Sulphite Infusion in the Valdo's Rest nodes. And when you do Delve Sulphite farming, you need to really focus on Valdo's Rest because you're going to get the most from Valdo's Rest maps, and you're also going to get the most from your Sulphite Scarabs. Otherwise, you're just going to be throwing currency into the wind, and that's going to piss you off, and it's going to take you ages to get your Sulphite up. The next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to invest in Sulphite Scarabs. Now, Sulphite Scarabs, depending on the ones you want, I usually go for winged because I'm at a lower depth and I can afford to buy winged and sustain them. I would just use Gilded Sulphite Scarabs when you're starting out. They're 4 chaos a pop. You're gonna pick up a few fossils. You'll make enough back so that you can sustain it and that you can basically keep delving down at least until about 300, 350, and then you want to start switching to wing scarabs when your volume starts to increase and you start to flip a return using wing scarabs. Don't buy scarabs that exceed the cost of what you're generating in fossil drops. Otherwise, Delve becomes not profitable and it becomes a deficit against your character's ledger, if you want to look at it like that. That's pretty much how I sustain it. There are rotations where you can join groups and you basically go in, you have one scarab, or you give the party leader a scarab, they run maps, and then basically each person in the party runs it and you get a full cache of Sulphite. I don't do that because I'm a solo player and I generally just don't like playing with other people in parties because it tends to be a bit of a shit show unless you've got a bunch of friends that like to play together or whatever. I just sort of stick to my own guns and I work at my own pace. This is a strategy that works for me. It's a little more expensive, but I don't make videos for group play, I make videos for solo play. So this is my way of getting Sulphite, but if you've got another method that you'd like to use, you can go ahead. But pretty much fundamentally, Valdo's Rest, max out the nodes on the map tree for Sulphite gain, and then run Sulphite Scarabs. Pretty simple method to getting enough Sulphite to be able to sustain. The other thing that you'll also have in-game are the map missions. So if we go back to, well, if we just pull open this, you'll have your Nico Master of the Depths missions, and so you can generate Sulphite that way as well. It's significantly less efficient and also much less sustainable, and you're realistically, the lower you go, you're going to have to rely on Sulphite Scarabs at the end of the day, but it's another such way that you can get more Sulphite out of doing that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's go down into Delve and I'll show you exactly what to do when you get into Delve. Now the first thing you need to do when you actually go in is make sure you got max flares, maximum dynamite, that way you don't have to muck around with pretty much worrying about whether or not you've got, you know, any of that stuff going on for you, because I'll tell you what, if you run out of flares and you're not sustainable down in Delve, you're pretty much screwed. So all right, we'll take a different Delve node because I want to get to the Grand Architect, going back up here. So all right, let's go down here. Now generally with Delve you want to stick to straight lines. As you can see, always take straight lines because they generally will have the most sort of fractured walls in between. But actually we won't take that node, and the reason why is because in Abyssal Depths they won't have so many fractured walls, or won't be as profitable for fractured walls. What we might actually do is we'll go a little bit further down. That's a good one actually. Let's go to 200. So let's go to this Azurite Vault and I'll show you exactly what you need to do when you're actually running the delves themselves. And this just takes a little bit of practice and getting used to how delving works, but this is what happens when I run delve, at least in my head. Let's drop that audio. Alright, so you'll hit your delve node, start your walk. Now the big thing to look forward to is look at where drop that audio down. Look at where the minecart is actually going and pay attention to the map more so than anything else. So if it's going straight, you're all good. Now, the minute that you see an offshoot on the map, you want to go down that angle. So here, watch where it's going. So it's taking a right, so we want to go straight because, there we go, straight away. We want to go into the darkness. We don't want to go the same way that's going. Oh, 4 pristine fossils straight away. So there's an example of just pure profit. So we come back up. See how we're in the darkness? We've got the glow on the outside. Now this character can handle it. But if your character can't, you know, that's okay as well. So then you come back up. Watch it go up. See down here, I've noticed on the map, there's a little crevice in here. So I'll go in, punch a flare, and deft fossil. There we go. Now you don't need to worry about killing everything because, quite frankly, it doesn't really matter. You can't kill anything that's in the darkness either. So here we'll just sort of walk down, watch where the minecart's going. Now notice here, there's a crevice here. So we'll hit that there because you never know what's going to be in these nodes. Drop a flare, walk down, kill enough enemies so they can't hinder you, and then, oh, actually, wrong. There was a chest. Alright, nothing in there, so we'll walk back out. Now this character's just a behemoth, so it's all good. Level 200 delve, this is nothing. And then we'll just follow the minecart. Now you can get ahead of the minecart. The minecart will go quicker. I wouldn't recommend that because give yourself time to look at what's going on the map. Now be mindful, a lot of these enemies are hitting pretty damn hard. So that may fuck you up as well. So you'll get to your node. You'll be like, alright, cool. So we'll just kill everything here and then I'll show you what happens when you go into the next area. And this is why I love Delve. You just sort of sit in one spot with this character and do nothing else. Come on. Everything just die. Easiest part about playing MS Jorgen Delve. Alright. So collect up our azurite. So then we'll go to the next column. So the next one we've actually got Abyssal City with a Lich. So I'll show you what the Lich looks like. So let's go down. So we should have gotten flares because this fight in particular, it puts you in darkness, but it's only Delve 200, so we should be okay. As you can see, I'm getting a bit faster now because I'm used to doing this. I'm just looking at the map, waiting for little openings that I can see. And see, I see one here. Now it's going to go in the straight line. So we'll just go down here. Now if you don't need to pop a flare, you don't need to pop a flare. Bam, fractured wall. Alright, drop another flare. Cool. Now generally I drop a flare at the fractured wall and I drop a flare when I get into the behind the wall. The reason why is you never quite know what's going to happen. Ooh, wealth, pure chaos drops. Lost loot. Now we're just doing a bit of darkness running because it's fun. Alright, so we'll book it out there. Don't get bogged down, and as you notice I've got a quartz flask on so I don't get stuck behind packs as well. So, go in here. Nothing here, so we're all good. We can just sort of cruise through. It's just very much about staying aware. So see here, it'll drive past straight. So now we want to go straight in here. And Lost Jury, so nothing will drop there. Some people won't farm those, but I do. Oh, there we go. Now see down here, that's a resonator cache. So we'll drop a flare. We got 2 resonator caches. These sell for like 1 chaos each or a half a chaos each, by the way, so they are worth it. You never quite know what legendary is going to drop or uniques or whatever, so always hit those too. So we'll just go and have a look at these. Yes, you can do anything that I've put you to do. So I'm going a bit far here, and I wouldn't recommend that if you're a little less experienced. Just remember the delve route that you've taken, or the column that you've taken, because sometimes you can get lost. And that is not good. Very easy to die. There we go, dynamite cache. Alright, so we come back down. So as you can see, always stay aware of what's on the sides. Because you never quite know what's going to be down here. It could be anything. And the best thing about getting down to nearly Delve 500 is you can walk through here like it's nothing. So the stronger the character, the better off you are. Alright, so, and this is our Abyssal Sanctum, so let's have a look. No! Oh, fuck! What the hell blocked me? Oh, you fucking dick! Why would you do that? You fucking blocked me! You're an asshole! Fuck you! It fucking blocked me from being able to move out of his beam. What the fuck is that? Oh, fourth time, man. Fourth time. Fucked by fucking getting blocked. Great. Fantastic. Great mechanic. No, I'm fucking beating him now. I want his blood. That pisses me right off. Like, I couldn't do a fucking thing because I got blocked? That's fucking bullshit. I'm fucking tilted by that. Hey, there we go. Oh, fuck. Alright. Command of the pit. And I don't have a, actually don't have my Awakened PoE trade up to check the price. Anyway, don't suspect that they're worth a great deal this league. But anyway, that's what the Lich King looks like. Lich boss. Anyway, let's go back to the main delve area and yeah, we'll sum it up there. Alright, so that's pretty much how delve works. And that's how I make currency in delve too. So just from that run, you know, we got a few things here. Pristine, Sulphur about 1.5 chaos each, Def's about what, 3. All in all, you know, and this is at delve 200. So at delve 500 plus, you're making much more currency a lot more efficiently. And you know, even that flat currency drops. So yeah, it's pretty damn profitable even at delve 200. Now, there's a couple of strategies that you can apply. You can push down to lower levels, which is what I'm doing. Obviously, the sulphite cost increases, so that's a consideration there as well as the difficulty. The other strategy that you can apply is, say you get to delve 200 and you find that's sufficient enough for what you need to farm the currency that you need, you can actually go horizontally, and that just means going literally horizontally. But that's another strategy that you can also apply. If you can't get any lower because your character's at an inherent limitation, and you're not specifically built for delve, that's another way around the problem when you look at it. Anyway, I hope this video helps you with making currency in delve and delving in general. Like and sub the video and sub to the channel. And until next time, have a good one and bye.